expecting a baby if they prefer to have a boy or a girl, the response that you are most likely to get is, well, we just want a healthy baby. But the reality is that deep down, most do have a preferred gender. So, is there a way couples can predetermine the gender of their children before they are born? It sounds quite odd, but our health and science reporter Chebet Birir spoke to experts to find out if that is possible.
The quest for sex selection has been a hot topic for ages. Well, if you're yearning to conceive a boy or a girl and are wondering if there is something you can do to make it a reality, then the answer is probably yes. According to fertility experts, this can be achieved by natural ways or through scientific methods. So how exactly is the natural pre-sex selection done?
They are able to identify this is fertile part, this is infertile part, this is menstrual. Again, we go back to that menstrual cycle. So they will be able to identify first. So once you finish there, you will now go to the next step of doing the other part of pre-sex selection, or even identifying the boy or the girl.
The peak is the last day of the fertile mucus, and ovulation can happen around the peak or 24 to 48 hours after the peak. So in case a couple wants to conceive a boy, then they have to have the sexual relations around ovulation, because the sperms that usually produce a male child, they are usually fast, they move very fast, but they die faster. So if the couple has had the sexual relations around the ovulation, then there is a high possibility of them conceiving a male child.
Njoroge says that couples who want to conceive a girl are encouraged to have sexual intercourse from the first day of the fertile mucus, which is the first day of the fertile phase.
On this first day of the fertile mucus, they have the sexual relations, then they stop. And even if the ovulation happens like 2 or 3 days later, then there will be a high possibility of them conceiving a female child.
According to Njoroge, for couples to achieve the desired results, they have to be cooperative, since conceiving their desired gender is not always guaranteed.
Studies have been done and they have shown that the effectiveness rate of the pre-sex selection is 63%. In case they don't get the gender that they wanted, as we mentioned with the effectiveness rate, they should be able to accept it and know that that is what God had planned for them.
The other way to predetermine the gender of your child is through pre-implantation genetic testing. This is a procedure that can be done during in vitro fertilization or IVF after the eggs are fertilized and before an embryo is placed in your uterus.
We get the eggs out, we fertilize them with the partner's sperm, we create embryos. 3 days or 5 days after creation of embryos, we do a biopsy and remove some cells from there, freeze the embryos, and wait for the results of the biopsies. Once we have got the results of the biopsies, we will know which embryos are XY, that is boys, and which embryos are XX, that is girls, and they are okay for transfer, because some of them can be XY, but may not be okay for transfer.
This procedure is, however, quite expensive, which explains why it is not widely offered in Kenya. Despite the high cost, the procedure could go either way. There have also been ethical issues surrounding pre-implantation genetic testing, since only the desired embryo is implanted, while most of the time, the remaining ones are discarded.
We encourage these couples to do embryo donation when it is possible and if they agree with it.
Despite the scientific milestones in achieving predetermination of baby's gender, the effectiveness of the natural methods is still debatable. It is therefore important for an expectant couple to be open-minded and lower their expectations, since both the natural and scientific procedures are not guaranteed. Chebet Birir, KTN News.
The sperm that produces a boy flies faster and also dies faster. Thank you, Chebet Birir, for that report. We come to the end of Weekend at 1. My name is Dennis Aseto. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Robinson Okenya will be coming at 2 p.m. for Scoreline. Good afternoon.